So I'm Summer Sharon with Sleigh Consulting, a digital marketing company, and I am here with Katie Spellman, and she is with Revel and Grow. She specializes in social media. We actually just got done meeting with a client that we coordinate work with, and we were talking about social media with our client, and specifically all the changes that are coming for Facebook, and we want to talk about those today, and especially because both of us specialize in working with the small business and the entrepreneur, and these changes are going to affect those people probably the most. So, Katie, I want you to tell us what exactly is going on with Facebook, what's happening, what are they changing?
Yeah, so I just got some news through the grapevines last week that Facebook is making some pretty major changes to its platform come the first quarter of 2018. So the news feed as we see it now is a mixture of your personal friendships and connections on Facebook, but also business pages that you might follow, Facebook groups and things like that. The change that's coming is that Facebook is looking to divide those two groups, and so your news feed will now just be your personal friends. It's only personal pages that you'll see, and anything that's a business page or a Facebook group would then be on this thing they're calling an Explore tab, and so you would have to click over to see the posts from a business that even if it's a business you follow. So if you are a small business owner, what that means is that the people that normally would just see your post, if you're posting at the right time and you're posting good content, they might not see it anymore because they probably won't be clicking over to that Explore tab. Facebook has not rolled this out in the United States or Canada markets yet, but they have rolled it out in the European and Asian markets. And it's expected that they'll roll it out in the US markets in about first quarter of 2018. What we've seen for small business owners or business pages and Facebook groups in those European and Asian markets is that their engagement has really gone downhill after not having the eyeballs on that personal newsfeed anymore. So about 2/3 less of engagement and 4 times less reach. And so that's not great for our small business owners who utilize Facebook as a wonderful way to reach their following. And even if you have a great following, even if they're liking your page and following it, they're not going to automatically see your posts anymore unless they're clicking over to that Explore tab. So that's the changes that are coming in, and like I said, it might be early 2018, probably the first quarter. There's no hard date yet that Facebook's released, but it is definitely going to be something that I want small business owners to make an adjustment for and know about now, so they can kind of get on top of that and see what they can do to kind of beat Facebook at its own game a little bit and make sure that they're still getting in front of their customers and their people that want to hear from them.
Yeah, so one of the things we talked about is because a small business, the way they work is more word of mouth, networking, and they utilize ways to attract customers that are more organic. They don't have the huge advertising budgets that a large company does, and so that's why social media has become a better way or one of the ways that they can reach an audience, and because it's usually free and they haven't had to run a lot of ads to reach their audience. So now this is going to affect them the most, and what's a strategy they can use to keep active on social media without having to have a huge budget? How are they going to survive in this new landscape?
Yeah, so a couple of things that are baseline. You always want to have a great website. You want to have your SEO working for you. Make sure that all of those components are in place before you decide to say, I'm going to go ahead and tackle the social media world. Okay, so make sure all of your base components are good. Now, if you've been posting regularly to Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, keep posting. Yes, you will probably see less engagement, but the research so far is showing that people are still clicking over to pages that they follow to legitimize things. So if they want to say they were interested in maybe a sale or something that might be coming up, especially during the holidays, they're still going to click over to your page. So you still want to be posting, and those things are free. Those posts are free. But now really what you want to be doing is thinking about budgeting towards Facebook ads. And I know that's kind of a scary world, and I'm not talking about boosted posts because For reasons I won't get into, boosted posts aren't always a great spend of your money. Instead, I'm thinking of long-term strategic goals that you can achieve with Facebook ads. And I know those are all really scary words, and we're all really busy worrying about our own business, and we don't really have time to be worrying about, okay, long-term strategic goals with Facebook ads. But that's really where Facebook is going. So when I talked with you just earlier about that personal feed and then that explore feed, the only business information that's going to show up in that personal feed anymore is going to be paid advertising. So Facebook is basically trying to make sure that they're making their chunk of the change for people to see your content. And that's okay, that they have the right to do that, and that's all right. What we got to do is figure out, as small business owners, how can we make that work for us? And so I would say start looking at doing Facebook ads for 2018. To make a very long process very short, you want to figure out what your goal is. Do you either want to send people to get signed up for an email list, or send them to your website, or maybe to, if you have an e-commerce type of store, send them right to a page where they can buy a product. Figure out what you need to do with your ad, and then figure out who you're talking to, because on Facebook ads, having a targeted audience is so important. The worst thing you can do is run a Facebook ad to the wrong people, and then you're just kind of wasting your time, because if they're not people that are ready and willing to buy from you, then they're not going to. So figure out those kind of key components first, and then you start working in what budget can I afford. I would say, especially if you're new to the Facebook ads world, start small. You can start as small as $5 a day with Facebook ads. And the second favorite thing that internet marketers like to say is start small and then test. And so start small, $5, $10 a day. You don't have to run a 30-day ad. You can run a 12-day ad. Run it with enough days that you can get a little bit of information on it. So you can say, if you only run it for one day, then that's kind of not enough information. I would say 10 to 12 days would be good. Start small, $5 a day, and then test and maybe run a very similar ad a couple weeks later. Either give it a little bit bigger budget, maybe $15 a day, or change the wording and start seeing what's going to work for you. There are a lot of free resources online about how to get started with Facebook ads, and I won't go into all those details now because that's super kind of boring sometimes and very very lengthy to discuss. But just get started with it. Start small. See what your audience is responding to, where you're getting the most engagement, or if you're getting more sales from something, and then scale up. And just start thinking of it in terms of, this is part of my marketing budget now, and I just need to put a little bit of dollars towards it. And that's why you want to make sure that your goals are really in line with what you're trying to achieve on your Facebook ad, because ultimately, the money you put into a Facebook ad, you want to get back out of as a paying customer. So, like I said, lots of free resources online that you can go Google and find to really get started on that. But those are the main components of being able to do it.
Yeah, so this probably isn't a surprise to anyone who's been following Facebook, because they've been trying to make more money with ads anyways. But it's not great news. The good news here is that you're hearing about it first. So you can be one of the first people to realize this is happening and be ahead of the game and introduce this type of marketing, and your competitors may not be. So we hope this is useful information, and thank you so much for sharing it.